Well, we return today to start a brand new week with a run in to the Eredivisie season. And don't quite ask me how this has happened, but we've stumbled our way into a title race. Not quite what we were expecting. Let's go and see in two big games today whether we can keep the momentum at home. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 12 of the Coach's Head with me, Daniel. We are back today for what I would say is a pretty surprising one. We've got some bad news on the injury front, but we are flying in the Eredivisie. We are third, we are a point off the top as both Ajax and Feyenoord continue to flail. And today we've got 5th and 7th place at home as Venlo and AZ Alkmaar are the two visitors. If we win those games, there's a good chance we've got automatic European football next year. And I just have to keep praising the director of football because the players he's added to this club, added to the young players that are improving, have really helped take us to the next level. There is another side to this as well, though. One of our best young players has got injured for a very long time, possibly one that will stop him reaching his potential. And perhaps more surprisingly, and the reason that I'm so shocked to be up where we are now, is that our skipper Tommy Sinjago has spent most of this second half of the season injured. It's been a very bizarre spell, but we're finding results and we're scoring goals galore. So if you're looking forward to seeing how we get on today, please do chuck a thumbs up on it. But for now, it's all about the first team because since you were here, we've obviously had disappointment in the cup. We were never going to get past Ajax. But since them 4 league games, we continued as we left off against PSV with that 1-0 victory by doing the same to Adu Den Haag. And it was Douglas Mendes in for the injured Tommy Sinjago who saved the day there. A 2-0 win away at MN thanks to Gonzaga and Bajrami, two of those players that the director of football has added who have made a real impact to the squad. You can see in that one, Tommy Sinjago came back from injury off the bench, but he's now out again. He didn't last long. Against Sparta Rotterdam at home, the one game Tommy Sinjago did start, we won by 4-1. Two for Boussaid, including a screamer at the end. Hyra the January loan addition, got his first for the club, and Nigel Thomas got one off the bench too. And then last time out against FC20, unfortunately injury for St. Jago, but a Tobias Beck hat-trick, the cover star of last summer's transfer special, another of the additions by a director of football. My word, they're stepping up to the plate. He's done something very special here. Good goals from Boussaid and Denzel Hall as well. Torbed getting more game time, the youngster off the bench. I mean, it's all going pretty swimmingly, to be honest. The only negatives that we can take out of the last month or two are injuries. One at first team level, because Tommy Sinjago will probably miss most of the season now. He's been out a lot of the second half of the year after being a stalwart for so long. Unfortunately, he's dropped out, but because he brought in so many good players last summer, we've got the cover for it, which is all we could ask for. The bigger injury concern, though, is this one. Tariq van der Putter, you'll probably know the name, a brilliant young right back who had massive potential. He's done his cruciate ligaments in an under-21 game. He's out for 9 months, and you've got to say that's probably going to be the end of him reaching a top level, which he was very much on course to do. So all of the hope now has to go into Torbed in that right back area. That's the one real blot on the record since we were last here. Got to say, we've not had many injuries like this, and we have said it this year's FM. There's not enough serious injuries, but that one, just a bit of a sickener. I wouldn't have minded if, again, it was like to a Nigel Thomas like we had last year. Someone who's a bit over the hill, someone who's not going to be improving anymore. But to a youngster who's got the world at his feet, just seemed a bit of a shame. But for now, it's into the two fixtures, one either side of the international break. Really don't want it to come the way our momentum's going. But let's get through to the fixtures. Let's see what we can put out, because we are 1 point off the top. Ajax have got a game at Fortuna Sittard, which they should win. Feyenoord have got a home banker against Adu Den Haag. But yet again, as we mentioned earlier in the season, after a slow start, which the club had a very slow one last year, this second half of the season, Willem II just know how to get the job done. Not many familiar names in the AZ team today. You can see Angelino, at left back, who you'll know. And they've got a youngster Brahimi in the middle who's very strong. So this is going to be a difficult test. But AZ Alkmaar are a side who are a little bit hit and miss. They're 7th for a reason this year. Let's go and get through to the team selection, make our adjustments for today, And as we do so, let me tell you a word about today's partners who can help us out with our pre-match meal. HelloFresh are on a mission to make your meal times easier with pre-portioned ingredients, quick and easy recipe cards, and plenty of treats we can get on board with too. Get 60% off your first box plus free dessert for life by clicking a link at the top of the description. Sounds good, doesn't it? I've tried it before, I'm a big fan of the brand, and have helped with my weight loss this year too. There's healthy options available, so why not grab your discount and give HelloFresh a go from the description below. Well, in recent weeks, we've had a few little injury problems here and there. We had one game where both goalkeepers had orange knocks. Geertsen, I'd probably say, is now number one. He's developing, he's come on leaps and bounds. Rossi has just had injury after injury, so he's sort of dropped away this second half of the year into his 30s now. We've also had Dokic out a few games. He makes his return today. Douglas Mendes comes in the middle. He's had 4 starts already, and now he's going to get the rest of the season effectively. In midfield, we've gone for Hyeralainen and Lachkar. Rosier had a game suspended, then a game injured, and he's not been in as good a form as the other two, so we're going to stick with them. They're forming a partnership. Hopefully that will continue. Bajrami is very much the starting number 9 now. He's not a big goal scorer, but we seem to be scoring more goals from attacking midfield when he's in a team, which suggests that maybe his hold-up play is doing the job for us. So I'm going to stick with this 11 you can see on the screen. From the last game, it is Dokic and it is Mendes coming in. And it means the 11 in full is Geertsen in goal, Dokic and Hall the fullbacks with Mendes and Ehrman the 2 centre-halves. Lachkar and Hyeralainen in central midfield. Beck and Boussaid both in double figures out wide. And then Gonzaga, I don't want to kibosh it, but he's now started 18 games. He's flying, he's improving, he's training well. Maybe we've got him up to speed now, I don't know. Bajrami up front, I'd love to keep him in the summer, but this negative transfer model is going to cost us, isn't it? Let's go and get into it against AZ Alkmaar. We win this, we're definitely in a title race. Well, 2 changes for our visitors today, and a name has caught my eye on the bench as a Luton fan. Alfie Doughty is among the AZ Alkmaar subs. A player we'll be hoping stays in real life this summer, but very interesting to see Luton players making it to the Eredivisie. Let's go and submit the team, let's get through to it. We've got the dressing room motivated by asking to prove a point. So into the first half we go. After 4 league wins in a row following that cup defeat to Ajax, we've just been in scintillating form. We feel invincible, but we're playing top sides now. We mentioned it a very long time ago. The run into this season is horrible. Our last 2 games, I think, are final than Ajax, aren't they? So if we're in a title race, I guess you could say we're going to be deciding it either way, aren't we? As Lachkar picks the ball up in the holding role. On the front foot already. Not sure about the red shirt and white shorts against red and white shirts, but we won't judge the kit clash for now as Dokic goes back to Ehrman. Space to play into, keeps possession for Dokic. And he plays down the line to Gonzaga. Good to have him back, bit better defensively, and that's an underhit back pass, which Boussaid takes full advantage of. What a lovely gift. I mean, we're not going to get many more like that, are we? We'll take them when they come. It's 1-0 to Willem II. It's the same old story, and that high pressing is working as Beck. Oh, that's unbelievable. Hat-trick a couple of weeks ago, and look at him now. Tobias Beck into the corner. The only one I can take credit for, really, is Boussaid. I said we're going to make him a star. Lachkar's improved under our management, and there's a couple of other good players that were here, like the fullbacks. But you look at this team today, Mendes, Hyeralainen, Beck, Bajrami, Gonzaga. The director of football's done so well as Bajrami's in for 3. AZ Alkmaar are collapsing. And if you had any doubt as to why we were winning games 4 or 5-1, you're seeing that evidence with your very own eyes here. We have got, probably bar Ajax and Feyenoord, one of the best squads in the division now. And that's despite the fact we've had this silly negative transfer model. We have, though, got an injury to Boussaid right on cue, which means Nigel Thomas is going to get an extended run out, 3/4 of a game. But you look at last season, Nock Varson, Nigel Thomas, first choice. They're now sitting on the bench waiting to come on. Same for Pratagin. It's a lovely position to be in as Tobias Beck on the edge. Gives the ball away but wins it straight back. Look at the determination. Hyeralainen, the new boy, having a great time. Into Gonzaga. 4-0 Willem II. We're not even half an hour in. This is absolutely staggering. In my wildest dreams, I didn't expect it to be this good today. I mean, I know we've had a lot of conversations about whether FM24 is too easy, but this team is unbelievable. 4 shots, 4 on target, 4 goals. And at half time, you have to say, it's game over. There's no way of coming back into it. Ajax are being held 1-1 by second bottom Fortuna Sittard at the minute. And Geertsen comes to claim the corner there brilliantly. Maybe it'll be us and Feyenoord the top 2 at the end of tonight. As Geertsen rolls the ball out to Mendes. Can't make it 5 before the break, can we? What a replacement he's been as well. Comes in, it's like no one's away. That's our skipper who's out injured. You don't even notice. As Tobias Beck on the right-hand side. Got to wrap him in cotton wool second half because he's not got the best natural fitness. He's got about the best talent we've got in this team. As Lachkar finds Gonzaga up towards Bajrami, runner off the left. And again, you can see how he just drops in, releases people, gets others in the game as it's into Gonzaga for 5. Nigel Thomas with the assist. That's why Bajrami doesn't score quite so many goals, but he plays so many key passes and he plays such a key role in this squad. It's 5-0 to Willem II at half-time. This is absolutely stunning. I can't say anything other than I'm happy. And it's just about when we rest people now. I mean, Tobias Beck is the one. And then we might even get some youngsters on, I don't know. We've not got many on the bench today. Torbed was unfit, so it might be a Legends call instead. But into the second half we go. We could not have asked for better. Well, 5 minutes gone in the second half. AZ Alkmaar probably playing for pride now. I guess they'd argue we've scored 5.5, so can they. As Angelino gets the ball at left back. Finds Dantas into Mercedes. Good effort, good save. Gets and kicks it away. Must have saved it with his foot there. It's really been a good performance, but I don't want us to get complacent. We've had a couple of games where we should have kept a clean sheet and haven't. So let's hope here we can just get control of this game again. As Geertsen is going to roll out to Erman. The supporter left back from Dokic, who again I will give a rest to at the hour marks. Come back and he's done well in his first start and his return. And it's Nigel Thomas to Gonzaga. Switch of play to Denzel Hall. We've got so much space out wide here. AZ playing that narrow formation and we're tearing them apart. Oh, that's not a foul. No, that's not a foul, referee. Denzel Hall's gone down. It's clearly a good tackle. He's going to the screen. We almost know now when he goes to the screen, he's going to come back and say no penalty. And I kind of hope he does, because although we're battering them, that's not a foul in a million years. So let's hope no penalty, throwing given, and we move on. There we go. We could tell it a mile off. We did not need VAR for that. Referee, you've made a howler. Well, an hour on the clock. Geertsen has picked up a knocking goal, a bruised shoulder. I mean, I'm just going to rest him because I don't want to take any risks. We're also going to look at taking off both fullbacks. But first, Hyraläinen will be replaced by Rosier, and they two will switch sides. Lachkar is the playmaker now. Dokic will come off for Van Berkel. Hussein Ali will come on for Denzel Hall. And then I'm going to bring Tobias Beck off as well, with Magnus Grørdem getting half an hour. Oh, I've made 5 already. Oh, it's the goalkeeper, isn't it? In that case, I'm going to leave Geertsen on. Because look, it's a bruise. It shouldn't get any worse. Let's get Grørdem off. 5 changes made. We've got to protect Tobias Beck. As Hall's got a throw on the right to Gonzaga. Make it interesting if the keeper has to come off injured as well, wouldn't it? Hyraläinen in that holding midfield role. He's not had a bad game, but he's one of the few that hasn't just stood out today, so he has to come off. Douglas Mendes getting an absolute age in the midfield area. And they're not even pressing us on halfway now. This has become a training session. Erman goes wide to Dokic on the left. Down the line for Nigel Thomas. Back to Dokic again. Look how confident we are on the ball. We're taking our time. We're playing passes. We're spraying the ball around. We get a goal from this. Could be one of the best moves of the season. Dokic has support down the left from Thomas. Finds Hyraläinen. Finds Thomas again. Cuts in on his right. Oh my God, that's one of the best goals we've scored all year. That is stunning. Nigel Thomas with the goal. Hyraläinen with the assist. And now I'm going to cancel those changes. Because what I want to do is leave Hyraläinen on. He's got his assists now. And instead we'll do Geertsen for Rossi as the final one. Both fullbacks will still come off. Ali and Van Berkel on. And Beck still replaced by Grørdem. But it is 6-0. We've just scored an unbelievable team goal. Finished in style by an individual. And while Ajax and Feyenoord are winning comfortably, we're closing the gap on the goal difference, which is remarkable in itself. We've only had 6 shots on target all game. We've had so many matches at the start of the season where we had 15, 20, 25 shots and got frustrated in draws. Well, it's all coming together now, isn't it? One of the best performances and results of the save. We haven't even dominated the game. AZ Alkmaar have had more shots, the same on target. But look at that. Just a day where everything went in. It is Willem II 6, AZ Alkmaar 0. And that is a strong contender for best result of the save so far, isn't it? An absolutely remarkable one. Let's have a look at the table after all three sides win. Our goal difference is now ahead of Feyenoord, just behind Ajax. And we are 1 point off the top. Willem II are in a title race. And VV Venlo won 5-0 against 20. They're our next opponents. 3rd v 4th. And we could all but wrap up European football. Well, we return after the international break, and the good news is the Boussaïd injury was only a week, so he is available today. There are some more interesting developments though, because if we have a look at the rest of the fixtures this weekend, the ones that have taken place a bit earlier, Feyenoord have drawn 0-0 against FC MN, and Ajax have drawn 1-1 with the AZ Alkmaar side we just battered. So if we win this game at home to Venlo, we will be top of the table with 6 games to go. I'm not quite sure how this has happened. I mean, the negatives are we've got to face Feyenoord. Don't know why I thought we still had Ajax again. We don't. But Feyenoord still to come. Utrecht are a good side still to come. And Heerenveen we've had trouble with before as well. But this is turning into an opportunity of a lifetime. So let's go and get through to it at home to Venlo and see if we start slipping up. Because at the moment, it's looking a bit too good. And maybe like a dream come true. Boussaïd is not fully fit, but I'm going to play him, I think. Nigel Thomas did really well off the bench, but Boussaïd's been a star. And I don't want to change a winning team. I'm going to stick with the 11 that played last time. I'm going to stick with the bench that was there last time. Torbed's played 2 games in international duty and then for the under-18s this week. And he's developing. He's played a lot of football for an 18-year-old at senior level. I'm not going to worry about him missing a couple of games. This is the 11 we're going for again. Very familiar from the AZ game. Let's hope we get the same outcome again and we're as clinical against 4th place Venlo. Well, maybe not so many familiar names in their 11, but manager Holger Badstuber is definitely a familiar name. And they've got a very good side still. So there's a reason they're up there. Probably with us, one of the quickest developers in the league. And they've moved their way up the table in style. So I'm not expecting an easy match here. Both sides are in good form. And Venlo are going straight from the kickoff, which is often a worry. Matlowski at the back, into midfield, and you can see they're going to use a lot more width, which we're going to struggle with. We do struggle with the sides that play wider, because they stop our advantages going forward, which is the main thing. Oh, Mendes almost did what the AZ defender did last time, but look at the goal kick from Geertsen. It's gone all the way through to Bajrami. And from almost giving away a goal from a short back pass, Geertsen was then forced into hoofing it rather than playing out like he normally would. And he caught everyone out. It went straight over to Bajrami. And while he's normally dropped a little deeper, this time he's on the front line and he makes no mistake. 1 minute gone and we're ahead. But the negative again is one of the wingers getting injured. Tobias Beck pulled knee ligaments. We're only 5 minutes in, but I'm not going to risk it. Nigel Thomas looked great in the last game. This time he's on the right-hand side, which is where he was first choice when we first joined the club. We've got a free kick on the edge of the box with Thomas. Imagine he puts it in the top corner now. Oh, he does. Not so much the top corner, but it's curled. He didn't go wall side. He went, I'm going to beat the keeper for pace and whip. And boy, did he. 2-0 in 13 minutes. It's deja vu. 2 shots, 2 on target, 2 goals. This Willem II team is desperate. But now, Boussaïd has got an injury as well, and we're running out of wingers. What do we do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do so I don't have to change shape. I'm going to put Grerdem on and switch Thomas over. I don't want to bring Razak or Minder on because Minder missed training. Razak's moaning to his teammates. Van Berkel could come on, but it's a bit more of a traditional winger move. So I'm going to go for Grerdem. Stick with the same sort of players and the same style of attack. With half an hour gone though, this is a dream start. We've had 8 shots on target in this episode and we have scored every single one of them. It's one of the most remarkable things I've seen. 5 to the break, we've still not had another shot. We don't need one. We've done the job now. Half time is going to be 2-0. Venlo have mustered their first shot, but it's not caused any threat to us. As it stands, we are top of the Eredivisie, and you are seeing why. We are ruthless at the minute. We're pretty solid defensively too. I'm going to tell the lads to prove a point. I do not want them to step off the gas. I don't want to tell them I'm pleased and just let them slip up. Bianconi throws in from the right and it's flicked on, but we're there again. And defensively, we've got so much better in the last few weeks. Mendes getting settled in there alongside Erman. He's got a bit of flair playing out as well as Hyrilainen gives it to Bajrami. Again, dropping in deep now, having got his early goal. And Mendes can bring it out from the back again. We're so assured on the ball. And this is the thing, while we press high without it, when we get it, we slow it down, we control the game, we're not in a rush to try and find that through ball. That time we do give it away though, as Matliowski can play out from the back for Venlo. This is a long old highlight. It's going to lead to something. And at the moment, it looks like a Venlo attack. Through ball to Smith, who's one-on-one. And there is the goal back. Talking up the defence, and that's what you get. Geertsen concedes. He didn't have a chance. And Erman just beaten on behind his shoulder. 2-1, Venlo back in it. Maybe I got too excited too soon. Who knows? Well, 10 minutes gone in the second half, and we're back as the Venlo keeper is punting downfield. Dokic, we're going to have to be careful of again. He's not looking too fit at the minute. As Hyrilainen goes wide to Thomas. Hyrilainen is struggling a tad as well. We've got depth in those positions now as Erman finds Lachkar. Forward to Bajrami, who's dropped in again. Found Grerdem with a lovely ball round the corner. Magnus Grerdem barely kicked the ball the second half of the year after a brilliant start to the season. Just comes in and finishes like that. 3-1, superb football. And it's now 9 shots on target, 9 goals in this episode. It is genuinely remarkable here. Let's go and make those subs. We're going to go Dokic off for Van Berkel. We're going to take Hyrilainen off for Rosier with Lachkar switching sides again. Gonzaga is one I would think about. But I've not really got a natural replacement there. So we're going to leave it a 4 for now and 1 more in case of an injury. But have we ever seen a more clinical episode on the channel where every shot on target has gone in? I almost don't want another one now just so the stat doesn't get ruined. As we tend to go, I'm going to take off Denzel Hall. He's struggling. In fact, have we made 5? We've used all the sub breaks, haven't we, as well? So it's not that. We've only made 4 subs, but we've not got any of the sub breaks left. I forgot we had the 2 separate injuries. That's of my own doing, that one. However, we've tend to go, oh, it's been ruined. It's been ruined. They've had another shot on target and missed. Who's done that? You're getting fined a week's wages. I'm not having any of that. 3 minutes added on. The long and short of it, though, is it's another really comfortable win. And against the top sides, we have made light work of them. Comprehensive as it gets. Willem II, with 6 games to go, have just gone top of the Eredivisie. I have no idea what's going on, but at the moment, we've found a stage of momentum that's just unstoppable. I say that, we're only 8 points clear of Venlo in 6th. It's tight at the top. But this season is becoming a very special one. And I feel like you're going to have to see most of the rest of it with me, aren't you? Let's go and get to the schedule and see when we're going to be back. Well, I'm looking at the 6 games remaining, and to me it actually seems pretty simple. We've got Volendam next in 15th, who we battered earlier in the year, I'm pretty sure. I think we'll beat them again, yeah. It was 3-0 last time out. We're going to come back, though, the game after, because you won't forgive me if I don't show you most of this. So we're definitely going to do Utrecht and Feyenoord. Depending on how much is in those games, we might do Groningen as well. And then we'll definitely do Heerenveen and Zwolle. So I'll show you at least 4 of the 6, maybe 5. And of course, depending on how tense it gets after Feyenoord and Utrecht, Groningen might become a must then as well. So a double or triple header next time as we go into the final 5 games of the Eredivisie season with a genuine title chance. We still go to Feyenoord. There's still plenty of football to be played. But this is now officially beyond our wildest dreams. I got the sour grape shirt on thinking I was going to have to moan about things today against the top sides. And it's just been the easiest draw you could have imagined. No injuries by the looks of it because we got people off early. I mean, it's perfect. If you enjoyed it, a ruthless, a clinical and an exhilarating display, and please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know in the comments what you think of it because the momentum for me is just silly. I mean, when did we last lose a league game? Utrecht, that 3-0 defeat. And then you saw us bounce back against Feyenoord, and from there, it's just been ridiculous, really. The wins, the goals, I mean, this month now, 4 games, we've scored 18 goals. We're becoming an unstoppable force. But will it go wrong? Will the players see the finish line? And will there be a few twitches? If you want to stay up to date and find out the answer as we finish the season in the remaining 2 episodes this week, and subscribe and turn that notification bell on. In the meantime, we're back with Southend United tomorrow, a bit further into the future and our time in that one. And there's also links in the eye above to the Twitch channel for regular FM live streams, and also plenty of Euro 2024 watch-alongs just around the corner. And finally, you can also find the football podcast up there with regular manager specials from the Championship as the merry-go-round has truly begun. But thank you very much for watching, for joining me for, I think, one of the most positive episodes we've had all year. That was just absolutely brilliant to watch. And if we can do it 6 more times, we might be the most surprised champions you can ever imagine. I'll see you next time to find out if we can get closer.